Okay, so let's cover another important topic of pediatrics, and that is acute diarrhea. Now, acute diarrhea is a very important topic for MCQs, SCQs, as well as Viva. So, what are the important points that you need to cover for your exam? First of all, in a case of acute diarrhea, you should be knowing what important history questions that you will be asking the patient or the attendant. These questions will include the duration of diarrhea, the number of stools that are passed each day, consistency of stools, contents of stools, vomiting in the last 24 hours, urine in last 24 hours, fever or any associated illness, past history of diarrhea, nutritional history and immunization history. So these history points must be asked in a patient of acute diarrhea. Now what will be seen on examination of the child? You will have to see the general behavior of child, the vital signs, the general condition, eyes for tears, mouth, tongue and thirst, skin pinch, CNS findings and auscultation of chest should also be done for any associated respiratory disease. And in order to check the hydration status, what you need to see, the mouth, tongue and thirst of the patient, the skin pinch, the eyes for tears and the general condition. And also you check the urine output, that also indicates hydration status. So tears in eyes, the moistness of mouth or tongue and the skin pinch and also the urine output will indicate the hydration status of the child. Now what are the signs of severe dehydration? In severe dehydration, the general condition will be lethargic, eyes will be sunken and dry, tears will be absent and mouth or tongue will be very dry and skin pinch goes back very slowly. So these are the properties of severe dehydration. And in severe dehydration there will be a fluid deficit of more than 10% or more than 100 ml per kg. So these are the characteristics of severe dehydration. Now what are the characteristics of dehydration? Okay, in case of some dehydration, general condition will be restless, irritable. In case of some dehydration, the eyes will be sunken, the tears will be absent, the mouth or tongue will be dry, not very dry, as in case of severe dehydration. And the thirst, the child will be thirsty and he will be drinking very eagerly. And the skin pinch will go back slowly and not very slowly. Okay, and the fluid deficit in case of some dehydration, it will be 5 to 10% or 50 to 100 ml per kg, while in case of severe dehydration the fluid deficit was more than 10% or more than 100 ml per kg. So these are differences between severe dehydration and some dehydration. You need to keep these differences in mind. So once diagnosed, what will we consider as the differential diagnosis of acute diarrhea? We can consider some dehydration, we can consider cholera, we can consider cow milk protein allergy, we can consider lactose intolerance, and we can consider celiac disease. So in a case of acute diarrhea, you can consider these following diseases: some dehydration, cholera, cow milk protein allergy, lactose intolerance and celiac disease. Okay, and also some infectious diseases like bacterial or parasitic, etc. Now, the investigations for acute diarrhea include CBC, stool examination, urea and electrolytes, urine analysis and urine culture, blood culture and chest x-rays. These are the important investigations for acute diarrhea. And how will you treat diarrhea? In case of diarrhea, the most important concern is dehydration. So if a child presents with diarrhea and he has no dehydration, then you will follow plan A. In case of plan A, there are four major rules. The rule 1 is that give child more fluid than usual to prevent dehydration. For now there is no dehydration, but in order to prevent dehydration, give child more fluids than usual. And in this case we basically give ORS or some home available fluids, especially after each loose stool. And the requirements includes in no dehydration in children less than 2 years of age, the requirement is 50 to 100 ml. In children 2 to 10 years of age, the requirement is 100 to 200 ml. And in older children or adults, we have to give them as much fluid as they want. So this is the first rule, that you need to give more fluids than usual. And these are the ranges of fluid that need to be given in the 4-hour period: 50 to 100 ml in children less than 2 years of age, 100 to 200 ml in children 2 to 10 years of age, and in adults and older children as much fluid as they want. Secondary, in no dehydration you have to give supplementation of zinc, and it has to be given at least 10 to 20 milligram to the child every day for 10 to 14 weeks. So zinc is very helpful in you can say treating diarrhea as well, and to correct the nutritional deficiency as well. So we give zinc for 10 to 14 days in case of no dehydration, or in case of acute diarrhea in case of no dehydration. So the rule number 3 in no dehydration is that continue to feed the child. Okay, infants of any age who are breastfed should be allowed to breastfeed, And the children who are not breastfed should be given their usual milk feed or formula milk at least every 3 hours. And if the child is at least 6 months old or already taking soft food, then they should be given cereals, vegetables, legumes, banana or other foods. And after diarrhea stops, continue giving the same energy rich foods and provide one extra meal than usual for at least 2 weeks, so that their energy or their nutrition gets built up, because in diarrhea the children might suffer from malnutrition as well. So this was the rule number 3, that continue to feed the child appropriately. And rule number 4 is that immediately return to hospital if child starts to pass many watery stools, or he has repeated vomiting, or becomes very thirsty, or is eating or drinking poorly, or if the child develops a fever, or he bleeds in stool, or does not get better in 3 days. So these are the conditions in which the mother is advised to bring the child back to hospital. So these are the 4 rules of no dehydration in case of acute diarrhea. Number 1 was give the child more fluids, and we saw the ranges of that. Number 2, give zinc supplementation. Number 3 was that give continue to feed the child and give adequate feed. And number 4 was the different conditions in which the mother is asked to bring the child back to hospital. So these were the algorithms for no dehydration. Now what if there is diarrhea along with some dehydration? In that case you will follow plan B. Now what are the important components of plan B? Number 1, admission. We'll admit the child and will administer ORS for 4 hours under supervision, okay, under supervision of medical staff. And how much ORS do we need to give? In the last case we can give ORS or any home available fluid, but in this case we will give ORS because it contains all the required nutrients or the minerals. So in case of some dehydration, we will give ORS in the range of 75 ml per kg plus 10 to 20 ml per kg for each loose stool in the first 4 hours. So this is the range of ORS that will be given for some dehydration in the first 4 hours. And also continue feeding the child to avoid malnutrition. And if the child wants more ORS, then give more if no signs of overhydration is appearing. Then if puffy face occurs, if the child happens to have a puffy face, then stop ORS and give clear fluids. And zinc supplementation should also be given, and continue breastfeeding the child. And if oral rehydration therapy is interrupted, then for example if mother wants to go home, then oral rehydration solution or ORS packets are given to the mother to continue rehydration at home, okay. And in case of some dehydration, you reassess the child in 4 hours. If there is no dehydration, then we shift the child to plan A, like we can give the fluids and the feed without supervision. And if there is still some dehydration, then we continue on plan B. And if severe dehydration appears, then we go for plan C. Now what is plan C for severe dehydration? Let's take a look at that. In case of severe dehydration, you need to admit the child and you have to resuscitate the child, because now he is severely dehydrated. In this case, you will have to pass an IV line, and we give immediate IV fluids, and the range of fluid is 100 ml per kg Ringer lactate or normal saline. And in case of infants which are up to 1 year of age, we give the first 30 ml per kg of the 100 ml per kg in the first hour, and the rest of the 70 ml per kg in the next 5 hours. And if the child is 1 to 5 years old, then we give the first 30 ml per kg in the first 30 minutes, and the rest of the 70 ml per kg in the subsequent 2.5 hours. So if IV line is not available, then we can use NG tube to give ORS, and in this case we give 20 ml per kg per hour for 6 hours ORS. So this is the way of rehydrating the child in case of severe dehydration. And if abdominal distension occurs, then give the ORS more slowly. Okay. What else you need to do in severe dehydration? You also need to continue ORS by mouth if possible. If the child is tolerating ORS by mouth, then you have to keep giving ORS by mouth, because we need abundant ORS because the child is severely dehydrated, okay. So repeat bolus once if the pulse is undetectable. So if the child's pulse is undetectable, then you can repeat bolus IV via IV route. So reassess after every 1 to 2 hours and shift to plan B accordingly. If the child behaves well, or if he appears to have lesser dehydration or milder dehydration, then you can shift him to plan B as well. So how will we calculate fluid for replacement? So fluid required will be equal to the deficits and maintenance. Deficit plus maintenance. Deficit is equal to 100 ml into weight of the child. So this is the definition of the deficit fluid, which we already calculated, that 100 ml per kg. or 100 ml into weight of the child. This much fluid is the deficit fluid that you have to give. But what about the maintenance fluid? Because there will be ongoing losses as well. So to cater that, you have to give maintenance fluid in this range. For example, if the child is 0 to 10 kg, then you will give 100 ml per kg. If the child is 10 to 20 kgs of weight, then we will give 1000 ml plus 50 ml per kg over. And if the child is more than 20 kgs, then we'll give 1500 ml plus 20 ml per kg over. So this is the calculation for fluid replacement. Now, what are the indications of antibiotic therapy in case of acute diarrhea? So you will give antibiotic therapy if the child is having cholera, dysentery, for example, Salmonella, Shigella or amoebiasis, or if the child is premature or malnourished. Next, what are the possible complications of acute diarrhea? Acute diarrhea can result in electrolyte imbalance. For example, it can cause hypernatremia, hyponatremia or hypokalemia. It can lead to hypoglycemia, metabolic acidosis, acute renal failure, permanent brain damage, seizures and coma, and even death. So these are the important complications of acute diarrhea that you need to keep in mind. They can be asked in exam. What are the preventive strategies for acute diarrhea? First of all, we should promote breastfeeding. Number 2, adequate hygiene and clean water should be available. Number 3, rotavirus vaccine to prevent against cholera. Number 4, measles vaccine as per schedule, because measles can also lead to diarrhea. Number 5, patients with cholera should be isolated so as to not spread the disease to the other children. Number 6, cholera vaccination. So rotavirus vaccine, measles vaccine, cholera vaccine, and patients with cholera should be isolated, and breastfeeding and adequate hygiene should be promoted. Now, what is the composition of ORS solution, which we already discussed? So a standard ORS contains NaCl in a range of 3.5 gram per liter, trisodium citrate dehydrate 2.9 gram per liter, KCl 1.5 gram per liter, glucose 20 gram per liter, and the overall weight, total weight of ORS standard composition is 27.9. So you just need to know these 4 substances that compose the ORS solution: NaCl, trisodium citrate dehydrate, KCl and glucose. These are the 4 components of ORS solution. So these are the important points about diarrhea, and I tried to cover the major important points and the algorithms. I hope it was helpful for you guys. If it was, like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Allah Hafiz.